The 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving, our largest fundraiser of the year, is coming up on September 17th. This year, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Nichi Bei Foundation and the 125th anniversary of the Nichi Bei legacy of community leadership through media. Your generous support can help us expand staff capacity, create reserve funding, and continue our innovative community programs. You can support by making an online donation on or before Tuesday, September 17th at nichibeifoundation.org/give. Those who donate will be eligible for some great thank you gifts, including digital and premium edition subscriptions to the Nichi Bei News, the Nichi Bei Tote Bag, Nichi Bei Bucket Hat, and a Nikkei Harvest by Art Hansen with Wayne Maeda. All donors will also be eligible for Day of Giving drawings for many different prizes. Plus, those who donate $100 or more by September 12th are invited to celebrate our 15th anniversary with us in person, where there will be food, live raffles for donors, entertainment, a preview of Films of Remembrance on Demand, a Nikkei Harvest, the best of the Nichi Bei Cafe, and more previews of upcoming events and programs. Donate today to our 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving for some great gifts. It's our way of thanking you for your generous support and helping us build a legacy for the future.
For episode 7 of season 3, we will be featuring stories in conjunction with our annual food issue. In this episode, we will be focusing on stories surrounding food, as well as a tasty selection from our office MasterChef. For our pastry selection, we will be serving a fresh piece on festival food at this year's Nihonmachi Street Fair. For our salad selection, we stopped by a new soba noodle restaurant that just opened up in San Francisco's Japantown. For our chef special, we learn more about a famous Japanese immigrant who eventually dominated the potato market in California. For dessert, our resident master chef at the Nichi Bei office, Kota, with the help of some of our special office guests, will show you how to make a dish known as Shogayaki. And stick around to be treated to some news bites of happenings in our Japanese and Japanese American community. Finally, we end the program tonight with tips of events that are coming up in the next month and beyond. So without further delay, let's start the cafe.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us and welcome back to episode 6 of season 3 of the Nichi Bei Cafe. As always, another season of this show is brought to you by the Nichi Bei Foundation and Nichi Bei News through the benevolence of the Henry and Tomoe Takahashi Charitable Foundation. If you enjoy what we're doing here at the cafe, please be sure to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook so you can be notified when new content hits our channel. Now back to Ryan.
Starting off with our pastry selection tonight, we serve up a visit to the Nihonmachi Street Fair, which is celebrating their 50th anniversary. Our producer Greg Valoria follows Sumiko Fong of the Nihonmachi Street Fair Committee. Enjoy.
Where there's smoke, there's food. Nichi Bei Cafe crew visited the 50th Nihonmachi Street Fair in San Francisco's Japantown, where they brought back food with a vengeance. There are only 2 times a year that you can get SF Japantown festival food, spring and summer. We had Sumiko Fong of the Nihonmachi Street Fair Committee take us around the various booths.
Hi, I'm Sumiko. I am the social media coordinator for the Nihonmachi Street Fair, and I'm going to take you through Food Fest at this year's Nihonmachi Street Fair. Okay, this is South Pacific Eats, and this is their first year at the street fair, and they serve island type food, so Kahlua pork and things like that. So now we are here at Corner Oakland, and they have Hawaiian food, so a lot of noodles and shrimp, and you can even get whole coconuts here, which is really cool. Okay, over here we have old-fashioned kettle corn, and of course they serve kettle corn. Yeah, this is like typical festival food, so it's good for everyone. We have made it over to Hala Hala Bento, and they are serving their Chex Mix this year, which is really cool. And they come in all different flavors, and they're super portable, so you can take them home to your friends and family. This is Sushi Obsession. They serve sushi bowls as well as sushi nachos, so all of you seafood lovers, this is perfect for you guys. This is Tumbleland shaved ice, and it is definitely a crowd pleaser today because it is so hot and it is absolutely delicious. We have made it to our fan favorite Kimochi Terry Burgers. They have been here literally forever, and they only come out twice a year, so everyone lines up to grab these. What's food without beer, right? So we have made it over to one of the most popular areas at the Nihonmachi Street Fair, our second annual beer fest. So you can come over here, grab a cup, and get as much beer as you like. Everybody loves corn, right? And we have two different variants of corn over here. We have corn on the cob and kettle corn. Here we are at Sam's Eatery, and they serve Korean barbecue, and they actually are owned by another restaurant here in Japantown called Fermentation Lab, so you can get this stuff year-round. We're here at Rooster and Rice, and they serve chicken bowls. It's super delicious, and they also have locations in San Francisco, so you can get this stuff all the time. Over here we have Sun and Garden, which is also another restaurant in San Francisco. Today they're serving egg sandwiches and lemonade. It's super gorgeous, very Instagrammable, and you should totally get some. This is the corner store, and they serve Korean bites and vibes, my personal favorite. So they have chicken and Korean drinks as well. And lastly, we have pork and belly, and of course they have pork belly. And as you can see, a lot of their stuff is already sold out, so they are definitely a crowd favorite.
A food fest indeed. Happy 50th, Nihonmachi Street Fair. This is Greg Valoria for the Nichi Bei Cafe.
Special thanks to Sumiko and the staff at Nihonmachi Street Fair for giving us a tour of their festival food. It's now time for our salad. Our executive producer and Nichi Bei Cafe crew take a trip just down the street from our office to check out Sobakatsu, a new and popular food spot in San Francisco's Japantown. Soba noodles are made of buckwheat flour and are considered a very healthy option in Japanese cuisine. Please enjoy our salad mix today.
In a quiet part of San Francisco's Japantown, you'll find a small, out-of-the-main-drag restaurant that specializes in soba. So what is soba? Soba noodles are made from Japanese buckwheat and is considered healthy. So enter Sobakatsu. The Nichi Bei Cafe crew talks to Shuichi Nihira, co-owner of Sobakatsu, and he talks about how this new restaurant came to be.
Introduce real Japan is then looking forward to what we're gonna do. Then like many ideas, yakitori or blah 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 blah. Then we have decided to do katsu and soba.
Shu talks about getting the right size of shop. In Japan, I was used to eki soba or train station soba restaurants, which are common as a grab-and-go meal, typically never in large places.
And then we are talking, I and Yoshi talking about looking for some place, such a small place we need, because we don't want to operate with a few people, mainly me and him or somebody else, one and a half people. I need a small space. So that's, then I just see the sign, and I just contact.
You would think sourcing the Japanese buckwheat flour would be easy. Just order from Japan and you're done, right? Wrong, as Shu points out.
Yoshi have been working for more hard than me. So he find out he called 1,000 times to the United States overseas, retail store, restaurant, or some farmers. He's from Osaka. His neighbor is got a good soba place there. He made a connection, and he got introduced from the person to someone, and someone introduced to someone.
Co-owner Yoshi Shinoda researched soba and found the best tasting soba comes from the island of Hokkaido. Through various contacts, he found a farm in Maine which optimized the buckwheat flour from Hokkaido.
So he went back to Japan, he ate it, he talked to the owner. But they do that 100% soba just like we call juwari.
Juwari soba is a special kind of noodle in Japan. It is made entirely from buckwheat flour and water and no other ingredients, giving it a unique and authentic taste. Soba sets in Japan are typically paired with tempura or meat strips. But tonkatsu is still relatively new. But don't expect the tonkatsu pairing yet at Sobakatsu.
Still, I'm looking for a good pork meat, like a Japanese, Japanese pork, right? Like a brands or some tender, tasty.
Sobakatsu is open Monday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 7:30 or till they run out, as they only are making 80 to 100 portions of soba daily. This is Greg Valoria for the Nichi Bei Cafe.
A big thank you to co-owner Shuichi Nihara for giving our crew a peek at his new restaurant. I love soba cold or hot, but in the midst of hot summers, cold is definitely the best. Alright guys, it's time for our chef special. We were inspired by Sam Nakahira's comic about George Shima, the Potato King, that our producer Greg Valoria prepared a short story about Mr. Shima, a relatively forgotten Issei pioneer who set up the California potato industry for success in the early 20th century, even though anti-Japanese sentiment brought his empire to an end. Please enjoy.
When Americans think of potatoes, what usually comes to mind is French fries, potato chips, or the mashed potatoes and gravy at Thanksgiving. Most wouldn't think of the Japanese Issei farming king, George Shima. He made a fortune from growing potatoes and became the first Japanese American millionaire. Born Kinji Ushijima, he was born in 1864 in a town in Japan called Kurume, just outside of Fukuoka on the island of Kyushu. After unsuccessfully gaining entrance to the Tokyo Commercial School, now Hitotsubashi University, due to failing to pass the English language examination requirement, he was inspired to travel to the United States to learn English. After he immigrated to America in 1889, he took the name George Shima. Shima moved into the Stockton-Sacramento area to work as a farm laborer, one of the few jobs available to him. Amongst his fellow potato pickers, he became known for his speed and efficiency. He smelled an opportunity when he saw the Americans' love for potatoes was as strong as Japanese for rice. So how did Shima, a so-called Jap and alien, find the guts to even try to own farmland in a white America landscape?
If I can outpick Americans, I can outgrow them.
At age 27, Shima bought a potato farm with his friends. Shima experienced failures like any other farmer, but he worked harder and smarter. To reach a higher quality product, he was the first to wash his potatoes before shipping and the first to grade potatoes, selecting only the best to sell.
When I came here from Japan, I was a laborer. I began to study books, talk to farmers, and learn about growing things. I got some delta land and started pumping water off. I got the land too dry and the frost got them. I pumped some water back, and after 3 years, I got the crop. But the potatoes weren't the best. One day, I noticed that cucumbers and watermelon blossoming in the same field grew to taste the same. This gave me an idea. Why couldn't I blend potatoes? I got some long Oregon potatoes and some round California ones and grew them together. And from that seed, I got the variety which brings 25 cents more than any other produce on the market.
In the early 20th century, anti-Japanese rhetoric started to gain momentum and eventually found its way to Shima. Jealous of his success, white farmers accused him of a monopoly, ignoring the fact that non-white farmers dared not to compete in the white-dominated potato market.
I'm not a monopolist. I only work harder than the rest.
He immediately amassed a great fortune and land empire, and in 1909 he became known as the Potato King. In 1906, his worth was $18 million, which in today's dollars is about $3.9 billion. Let's put that in perspective. In 1905, a dollar can buy 58 pounds of potatoes, 7 pounds of steak, and 3.5 gallons of milk. By 1920, it has been said that Shima was producing 85% of California's potatoes. Also in 1909, Shima moved to an affluent neighborhood in Berkeley. That caused quite an uproar. Many neighbors were worried about their children playing with the Shima children. George Shima sarcastically commented to a newspaper reporter that,
My neighbors should not worry since I'm putting up a high fence to keep other children from playing with my children.
Eventually, white Americans felt so threatened by the Japanese farming success, they passed the California Alien Land Law of 1913, which stripped Japanese immigrants or aliens ineligible for citizenship of the right to own land. Because of the anti-Japanese sentiment leading to these laws in California, he created and became president of the Japanese Association of America to help bring voice and fight for the rights of Japanese immigrants like him to have their share in the American dream. How could an immigrant become a true citizen without the right to plant one's roots in the earth? In letters to California's governor, Shima wrote,
The lands owned by the Japanese are only 11,000 acres. What a small acreage they have in this state. Speaking of the vast area of California, it may be well to say that no Japanese have land in California.
No one listened to his letters. The California Alien Act of 1913 and the subsequent California Alien Land Law of 1920 dismantled his fortune. He eventually became disenfranchised with the anti-Japanese sentiment in America and intended to go back to Japan. Unfortunately, during a business trip in the month of March 1926, he had a stroke and passed away of complications soon thereafter. To this day, his name still appears, like in an area in the Stockton Delta called the Shima Track. His name and contribution is honored at a campus building at the Delta College, and much of the farmable islands in the Delta today can be accredited to Shima's determination and desire.
The 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving, our largest fundraiser of the year, is coming up on September 17th. This year, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Nichi Bei Foundation and the 125th anniversary of the Nichi Bei legacy of community leadership through media. Your generous support can help us expand staff capacity, create reserve funding, and continue our innovative community programs. You can support by making an online donation on or before Tuesday, September 17th at nichibeifoundation.org/give. Those who donate will be eligible for some great thank you gifts, including digital and premium edition subscriptions to the Nichi Bei News, the Nichi Bei Tote Bag, Nichi Bei Bucket Hat, and a Nikkei Harvest by Art Hansen with Wayne Maeda. All donors will also be eligible for Day of Giving drawings for many different prizes. Plus, those who donate $100 or more by September 12th are invited to celebrate our 15th anniversary with us in person, where there will be food, live raffles for donors, entertainment, a preview of films of remembrance on demand, a Nikkei harvest, the best of the Nichi Bei Cafe, and more previews of upcoming events and programs. Donate today to our 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving for some great gifts. It's our way of thanking you for your generous support and helping us build a legacy for the future.
A big thanks to Sam for her inspiration, as well as to Greg and our office chef Kota Morikawa for lending their voices to Mr. Shima's story. Speaking of our office chef Kota, he has prepared yet another delicious dish for us to chow down on in this next segment. Shogayaki, or ginger pork, is the amalgamation of shoga, meaning ginger, and yaki, meaning to cook over direct heat. We also invited a few special guests to help Chef Kota prepare his office dish. Itadakimasu.
Yahoo! Welcome to Kota's Kitchen. Today's segments: Shogayaki. Shogayaki is usually a big slice of pork marinated in shoga, like ginger and soy sauce. But today we have tons of guests from Nikkei Community Internship, about 12 young people who experienced working at the Nikkei Japanese American non-profits. They are having a great experience, and today they are visiting Nichi Bei Foundation. And today I have an honor to feed them with my great cooking. So instead of using the big slice of pork, I'm using the small pieces of pork instead to make it donburi style, so that you can eat pretty easy. You know, you don't need the plates, you know, not the formal, but this is Nichi Bei Cafe is all about the kind of informal cooking. Right, to prep, first I have to add salt and pepper on the meat. Right, just sprinkling pepper and not too much salt, and then mix just a little bit. Right, next, the most important ingredients of today, ginger. I would like to peel this first, but today I would like our Nichi Bei NCI intern to do this.
Hi, I'm Erki. I've been with Nichi Bei since May, and I'm also part of the Nikkei Community Internship.
I would like to give Erki a tip how to peel the ginger. When you peel, you might use the knife to peel, but today there's an easy tool to peel, spoon. There's a so easy way to peel the ginger. Take a look. So hold your spoon on your leading hand, and then ginger. All you need to do is sliding.
It's that easy.
Yes.
Because I was always cutting with the knife,
Oh, yeah?
cutting the sides. Yeah.
Really?
I didn't
Yeah, I
know.
used to do that too. Right. Okay. Thank you, Oki.
Thank you.
And okay, next we are going to grate and then also cut to pieces.
Is this like a traditional Japanese dish, or is it
Yeah, very traditional. And
so not yoshoku or something?
Yoshoku? No, it's a washoku. Yeah. Can I ask questions to interns? Have you had a shogayaki before? Really? Are you Japanese Americans? So during the summer, you know, Japan is really hot, and lots of people just lose their energy. So, you know, those shoga really helps them enhance their immune system. So that's why it's a summer food. Yeah.
I also heard it's really good for your gut health. I
Gut
think.
health? Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Oh, perfect. You are doing great. Yeah, thank you. All right, next, of course, I'm going to make the sauce mix beforehand. so cooking becomes so easy. First, Japanese sake, 8 ounce.
I heard that sake, like,
Not enough. You have extra.
I heard that sake helps with softening up the meat. Is that right?
That's true, yes. Yes, softening up the meat and also getting rid of kind of meaty smell. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for asking. Sorry, I messed up. It's not the 8 ounce. It's 4 ounce. It's too much.
I've never seen this before.
Good. All right, next. Show you 3 ounces. All right, and mirin, just 1.5 ounces. I'm just gonna use my eye to do it.
I've always wondered what's the difference between sake and mirin.
Hold on a second.
You can't do two things at once.
Yeah, sake and mirin difference is, to be honest, I don't know. All I know is sweetened sake.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. Sugar, 6 teaspoons. Oh, this is a lot because I'm feeding about 20 people today. All right, so let's begin with cooking meat first. So can you splash the oil first? Right, yeah, can you add all the meat?
Yes.
All the meat. Ryan, can you pass me the meat?
Thanks. Are we just waiting for the pork to brown, or?
Yeah, I want kind of 80% cook. Yeah. Okay, now adding onions. Okay. Right, now adding a sauce.
But yeah, so the Soy and Tofu Festival is one of the many things.
She's looking for help for vendor coordination too.
Right, now the onion is kind of looking dissolved and looks good. So I'm going to add shredded ginger and then minced. Okay, all right. So Shogayaki, Nichi Bei Shogayaki is almost done. So I add rice and then shredded cabbage here. So I am adding up this on top of cabbage. And here it is. Nichi Bei Shogayaki Teishok.
I'm hungry.
You have yours,
Many thanks to Kota for yet another delicious office meal, and a special thanks to the Nikkei Community Internship Program interns for joining us. And shout out to Erki, who played an instrumental part on not only the segment you just watched, but to our foundation as our intern for the summer. It was a joy to have them, all of them, in our office to sit down and have a meal here at the cafe. So next up, we share some noteworthy stories from the community news files. Director, let's roll the news bites, please. I'm going to change shirts too.
Next is our news bites, highlighting events over the past month or so, including stories from the pages of the Nichi Bei News. Let's roll the news bites, please.
So let's roll the news bites. The news bites rolling. On July 27th, the Nichi Bei Foundation and Nichi Bei News held its very first Nichi Bei Book Fest, featuring newly published books by 6 Nichi Bei News contributing writers, and centered around a celebration of longtime Nichi Bei News book reviewer Art Hansen. The event was highlighted by the launch of the first book published by the Nichi Bei Foundation, a Nikkei Harvest, reviewing the Japanese-American historical experience and its legacy by Arthur A. Hansen with Wayne Maeda, a late founding Nichi Bei Foundation board member. Also featured were authors Greg Robinson and Jonathan Van Harmelen, authors of The Unknown Great, Frank Abe, editor of The Literature of Japanese-American Incarceration, Satsuki Ina, author of The Poet and the Silk Girl, Sam Nakahira, author of Ruth Asawa, An Artist Takes Shape, and Wendy Yamashita, author of Carceral Entanglements. Jennifer Bolin, the legislative aide to District 5 Supervisor Dean Preston, presented a certificate of honor to Art Hansen, who was celebrated by the Nichi Bei Foundation for his lifetime of achievement. Thousands of people packed Post and Webster streets celebrating the Nihonmachi Street Fair's 50th anniversary in San Francisco's Japantown August 3rd and 4th. They ate delicious food, shopped for arts and crafts, and enjoyed musical performances and games for dogs as well. They ate terry burgers, pork belly fried rice, and shave ice, and listened to taiko, rock, and soul music. Attendees also shopped at the artisan vendors and enjoyed activities for their dogs. On August 4th, the Nichi Bei Foundation held its annual Nichi Bei Day with the A's fundraiser at the Oakland Coliseum, where the Oakland Athletics played the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was the last time that Nichi Bei Foundation's longest-running fundraising event was held at the Oakland Coliseum, as the A's will move to West Sacramento at the end of the season en route to a more permanent home in Las Vegas in 3 years. The bittersweet occasion began with a tailgate barbecue in a lot outside the Coliseum at 10:30 a.m., 2 hours before the start of the game. Tables were set up for around 150 supporters of the nonprofit, which served freshly grilled hamburgers and hot dogs. The Nichi Bei Foundation raffled off A's gear, including a baseball signed by former A's pitcher Shintaro Fujinami, who was traded last summer, and t-shirts donated by Maki Mino, while supporters of the Nichi Bei Day with the A's mingled. People wore a mix of A's, Dodgers, and Angels gear, but the name to be found on the back of most jerseys was that of Japanese baseball superstar and the Dodgers leadoff hitter Shohei Ohtani. And we close our news bites with the completion of the 22nd class of the Nikkei Community Internship Program, a statewide initiative which allows college students to support the work of community organizations while increasing their understanding of contemporary issues affecting Japanese Americans. Coordinated by the Japanese Community Youth Council in Northern California, the Japantown Community Congress of San Jose and Kizuna in Southern California, the program supports the development of the next generation of community leaders. The Nichi Bei Foundation, as in years past, hosted our own NCI intern, Erky Forster. Erky, a student at UC Berkeley, worked on the annual Northern California Soy and Tofu Festival, our first Nichi Bei Book Fest, and launching the Japanese language site on nichibei.org, as well as updating our online Japanese American community resource guide, among other marketing functions. We are proud to support the NCI program, donating $3,000 in proceeds from our annual Northern California Soy and Tofu Festival to support the program. For more up-to-date news like this, please be sure to subscribe to the Nichi Bei News, carrying on a legacy of 125 years of community leadership through media at nichibei.org/subscribe. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for our 7th episode of Season 3, featuring stories highlighting food in our community. We hope that you enjoyed what we, and of course all of our featured chefs, cooked up for the cafe menu today. A lot of things are happening in the community this summer. Next up, we will present a calendar of upcoming events. But first, I wanted to bring in our Nikkei Community Internship Program intern to speak a little bit about his internship this summer. Hey man, how's it going?
Good, thanks for having me.
Of course, thanks so much for joining us today. So Erky, do you want to introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Erky Forster. I'm a rising junior at UC Berkeley, where I study global studies. And this summer, I had the opportunity to work at Nichi Bei News as part of the Nikkei Community Internship.
Excellent. Yeah, and again, we're really lucky to have you. So how did your internship go here at Nichi Bei?
I had a really great time. I grew up in Europe and later Los Angeles, so I didn't really have a connection to San Francisco's Japantown when I came to UC Berkeley. But through the Nichi Bei and Nikkei Community Internship program, I suddenly found myself in the middle of the action, helping organize the Soy and Tofu Festival, covering community events, and learning about Japanese American history. I couldn't have asked for a better summer, and thank you to everyone at the Nichi Bei Foundation and in the broader community for welcoming me and helping me grow as a community member and journalist. That being said, we would like to thank everyone for continuing to support our YouTube channel and hope you enjoy our future content featuring our Japanese and Japanese American community. So please, continue to support us by telling your friends, family, and loved ones to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this episode, and comment down below. To stay in the know of more happenings in the Japanese American community, please consider becoming a member of our Nichi Bei community to help support what we do here at nichibei.org/subscribe.
Most definitely, and we of course want to thank you for all of your help and efforts in supporting our various Nichi Bei activities and events. So at this point, we want to say a big thanks to the Henry and Tomoe Takahashi Charitable Foundation for their continued support of the cafe. We greatly appreciate our collaboration with you in finding new ways to engage with our Nikkei community.
Finally, let's end this month's segment with tips, which will include our community calendar. Thanks again for joining us at the Nichi Bei Cafe.
Erky Foster, our Nichi Bei NCI intern, to do this. And he said he never. Oh. Sorry. All right.
So when should I say hi? Like, but when do I say hi? What if I introduce myself? Right? What if I'm like, I'm Erki? Because
So Nichi Bei intern to do this. What? Did I say anything wrong?
I'm Erki. I've been with Nichi Bei since May, and I'm also part of the Nikkei Community Internship.
Okay. Alright.
You can speak.
Okay.
Maybe we can do like,
The 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving, our largest fundraiser of the year, is coming up on September 17th. This year, we celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Nichi Bei Foundation and the 125th anniversary of the Nichi Bei legacy of community leadership through media. Your generous support can help us expand staff capacity, create reserve funding, and continue our innovative community programs. You can support by making an online donation on or before Tuesday, September 17th at nichibeifoundation.org/give. Those who donate will be eligible for some great thank you gifts, including digital and premium edition subscriptions to the Nichi Bei News, the Nichi Bei Tote Bag, Nichi Bei Bucket Hat, and a Nikkei Harvest by Art Hansen with Wayne Maeda. All donors will also be eligible for Day of Giving drawings for many different prizes. Plus, those who donate $100 or more by September 12th are invited to celebrate our 15th anniversary with us in person, where there will be food, live raffles for donors, entertainment, a preview of Films of Remembrance on Demand, a Nikkei Harvest, the best of the Nichi Bei Cafe, and more previews of upcoming events and programs. Donate today to our 8th annual Nichi Bei Day of Giving for some great gifts. It's our way of thanking you for your generous support and helping us build a legacy for the future.